Hey there, guys. Welcome back to a brand new Flick Pick live show. This is it. Don't get scared now. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me once again. And by the way, because I always have a technical issue every live stream, at some point this will freeze up. I know it's going to. So just get prepared to look at my stupid face frozen like this for 5 seconds. But before we dive into that, how are you guys doing? I just want to make sure the audio is good. Everything's... Ooh, it's working. Okay, good. We can dive into the show now. Hope you have your popcorn, something cold to drink, 3 ice cubes, no more, no less. I have a delicious caffeinated beverage right here ready to go. And in this live show, I don't really have a main topic I want to discuss, but I do have a few new things I want to feature. A little bit later, I want to talk about all these brand new 4K movies that I've picked up or that were sent to me over the last couple of weeks. Also, I'm introducing a brand new segment tonight on the live show, and this will probably be like a weekly or bi-weekly segment. It's called Magical and Mystical Movie Memories. It's where I go down memory lane and I just recall a great time I had going to see a movie, and I give you the detailed experience of what happened and why that movie captivated me and why it resonated with me or why I completely hated it and it was a piece of shit. But that's going to be a little bit later. And real quick, another update is 2020 will not stop me. No. I put out a brand new Black Friday video. If you haven't seen it or watched it, go check out the Flick Pick channel, my main channel. The link's down below. Yeah, I think you guys will enjoy it. It's not... It's sort of depressing, but I think the video is entertaining nevertheless. And the other main reason you guys should check out that Black Friday video over on the Flick Pick channel is I'm actually doing a giveaway in that video. Because if you guys couldn't go out on Black Friday or, money's a little bit tight this year, well, rest assured, old Flick Pick has your back. I'm giving away a Steelbook 4K copy of Top Gun. Look at this thing, man. Look at that. Male masculinity at its finest. Just dudes playing beach volleyball, half naked, covered in baby oil. That's what dudes do. All right? So, yeah, definitely go check out that video if you want the details on how to win that. And I hope one of you win it very soon. So how are you guys doing once again? And I'm ready to answer your questions. I'm so excited. It's been a few weeks, and I missed you guys. I really did. It just... things got busy, and... I got scared. All right. The first one comes from Azim the Dream Reviews. John, I need some ideas for an intro. What website do you use to create your intros as well as the music you play during the intro and break? Okay, so I've had many different intros over the years. Some of them I've created myself. Some of them I actually have a little help on. For the 2 new segment intros I'm going to introduce during the live streams, one of them is called Magical Mystical Movie Memories, which I just told you about. And the other one I'm going to start introducing into the live shows is called The Last 5 Flicks, which is essentially me recapping the last 5 movies I watched. A good pal of mine, who's also the moderator on this chat right now, Patrick John, helped me out with some of those intros and did a lot of work and helped edit those. Another place I've went to before is just I've had viewers or fans reach out and say, hey, I can do this and design this graphic intro and put it together for you. And that's one thing. But if you don't have those things, another thing I would recommend for a nice quality YouTube intro is just go to Fiverr.com. And there's plenty of people on there, very talented people, who will make you an intro for probably like $15, $20. And just tell them what you want. As far as music goes, I have an account to Epidemic Sound, which has tons of royalty-free music. It says you have to pay for it, but the music on there it sounds very professional. Like if you want Hans Zimmer music, you type in like epic music, and it sounds like Hans Zimmer music. So that's why I use that, and that's where I get most of my music from. So... the next one comes from Carter Lovejoy. Thoughts on Almost Famous. I like me some Almost Famous. I haven't watched it in a few years, but I've always enjoyed it, and I've always been sort of like a sucker for time period movies. I like movies that take place in like the 1950s, 60s, the 70s, especially the 80s. It's just something about it. It's simple, and it immerses me more. And I really like the topic of like a kid pretending to be like a 25-year-old journalist tagging along with this rock band. It's really cool. So I've always really enjoyed the movie. Michael Leahy. Hey, John, did you see Freaky with Vince Vaughn? I did not see Freaky with Vince Vaughn. It's a great slasher crossed with Freaky Friday, crossed with an 80s MTV videos. Yeah, that sounds great. The concept intrigues me. I just have not watched it. to be honest with you, the last thing I watched was the new episode of Mandalorian. And I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if they gave him a name. He will forever be Baby Yoda in my heart. You can't take that away from me. It's Baby Yoda. I know he has a name and some backstory. He's Baby Yoda. Or the kid. I'll call him the kid. And Anik Arena. Hey, John, I love your videos and your personality. Well, thanks. Have you played Among Us yet? I thought it would be fun if you and Chris played it. I have not played it. I don't know anything about it. I really don't play video games anymore. Something about them. I'm afraid if I start playing them, I get too consumed and then I get too pissed off. Like the last time I played Call of Duty, I sat back after I played it and broke my controller in half, and I thought to myself, John, this isn't healthy. You need to stop. And I did. Honestly, when it comes to just relaxing and not doing anything, when I want to go into like relaxation mode, I want to go into a vegetative state. I want to look like when I lay on the couch, I look like I just got a lobotomy. Okay. And when I play video games, I don't want to use hand-eye coordination. No, thank you. When I want to relax, I just want to turn into the biggest, laziest piece of shit and watch a movie. That's what I do. But every once in a while, I do whip out my classic SNES, and I play some games on there, and I play for like 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and I'm like, that was fulfilling enough. But if anyone wants to send me a PS5 or an Xbox for Christmas, I will play it. The cool thing about the PlayStation is or the new Xbox, it's like it has a 4K player, so I could almost justify buying one of those just for that to put in my office. So I don't know. Maybe. Lone Tiger. Hey, John. How was your Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving was pretty good, but very small get-together this year. But it's good. By the way, turkey is overrated. I'm sorry. On Thanksgiving, I'd rather just have a steak. Fuck turkey. All right. Again, did some binge 4K movies and Blu-ray shopping. Laugh aloud. Got so much stuff. I just can't list it here because it won't fit. I watched your BF video, but did you get any other movies or shop for anything else? No, like I said in the Black Friday video, the only movie I technically bought for Black Friday was Stand By Me on 4K, which is in my top 20 movies of all time. You never have friends like the ones you have when you're 12 years old. Jesus, does anyone? That's really the only thing I bought, and I had to buy that on Amazon for like $12. And that's the only thing. And I'm a little bit irritated, and it sounds so petty and pathetic, but I stand by this. I ordered it off Amazon. It didn't come with a slipcover. I contemplated, and I still am contemplating returning it. I want that slipcover. It just feels like I get more for my money. Am I the only one? That little piece of paper just makes me feel better about myself. But no, that was really it, man. And yeah, if you can throughout the chat, let me know some of the movies you picked up, Lone Tiger. Patrick John. I love Top Gun, but man, if it doesn't have more Blu-ray releases than any other movie ever. Yeah, so I had the original Blu-ray on Steelbook, and then I got the 4K, the normal release. And then I was sent 2 copies of the Steelbook, which I'll keep one for myself, and then I'll give you guys the other one. Or maybe I'll give you guys both of the Steelbooks of Top Gun. I really don't need a Steelbook of Top Gun on 4K. I have the standard 4K release. I think that might be sufficient. But then again, I kind of do want to keep one of the Steelbooks. I don't know. And a little bit later, we are going to talk about all of these new 4K movies. So stay tuned. Hector the Chill Guy. Hey there, John. Favorite scene from any John Wick movie? Probably, maybe the newest John Wick flick. I really like the knife fight early on in the movie. I think that was one of the most suspenseful, well-done scenes in that entire movie. And I was like, yeah, give me more of that. Because sometimes with the John Wick movies, I've noticed like every movie, they progressively keep adding extended gunfight, hand fight sequences where they fight with the gun and they do all this stuff, but the gun goes off once, but they don't really shoot each other, but they just keep fighting with the gun. And I noticed in the newest John Wick movie, and I liked it, I just didn't love it as much as I wanted to. I remember there's a scene at the end of that movie where they fight for like 10 minutes, and it gets a little bit repetitive, like after the first 3 minutes. And I'm like, I like less is more sometimes. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion. I don't know. Kamyar UFC 1990. The true price of any item is what somebody is willing to pay for it. What movie dialogue is this? Don't Google it. That's Nightcrawler 2014. I know everything. Yeah. A friend is a gift you give yourself. The name of the company is Video Production News, a professional news gathering service. That is how it should be read, and that is how it should be said. The next one comes from Chris Stuckman's Chair. What an odd, interesting name. Hey, John, what are your thoughts on Ellen Page coming out as transgender? It's now Elliot Page. Well, good for him. Cool, man. I feel like things like that almost don't need to be announced. Like, I just do it. Go for it. I get it. Hey, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Doesn't bother me any. Good for him, technically. I guess. Yeah. I've always liked Juno. I've always liked, Ellen Page has always just been Juno to me. Since I saw the movie, I'm just like, that's Juno. But hey, good. I'm curious how that'll affect her upcoming movie roles. I'm really curious to see if that affects her career. I mean, Hollywood will say no, it won't at all. And there's going to be that one movie who sort of obligatory writes a role just for her that has that exact same plot line and character description. But then after that, it's I wonder if it truly will affect her in the long run. I'm curious, but yeah, good for her. Senior Love Daddy, what a great name. Do you like sucking on them toes? Every once in a while, but not my own toes. I have a great story about a toe, and if you want a toe, I can get you one by 2 o'clock. Which movie is that from? Paint with Paint. Maddo, hey John, just curious, what would you do if Fantastic Four Stick got a sequel? Probably punch myself in the face, break the window, jump out of it, land in the snow, make a snow angel, then get in my car, drive 110 miles per hour into a tree. I don't know, man. It won't, because the movie bombed so hard and the entire movie looked like it was shot in someone's garage with a green screen. It will probably never get a sequel, but hey, since Marvel is in charge, there's been a lot of talk about actually making a good Fantastic Four movie, so that could be a possibility, and I'd like to see that. Thank you for the question, Maddo. Benny, thoughts on Little Miss Sunshine 2006? Just watched it this weekend. Yeah, I remember seeing it once, maybe twice, and I enjoyed it. It's like a small, fun, little micro-budget movie. It just makes you wonder, though. The little girl who joins, beauty pageants, and she has, that one, adult sort of dance routine where she's wearing, knee pads, which reminds me of another movie that just hit Netflix that everyone hated called Cuties. So I doubt they'd ever make that again. But I liked Little Miss Sunshine. Night King 01, did you see Rambo 5 film Steelbook Collection? I did see the Rambo 5 Steelbook Collection, and typically I get a lot of movies from studios. They send them to me so I can show you guys the movies. It's just cheap marketing from the studio. They're using me to promote things to you guys, but I like free shit and I like movies, so I say yes. I did see that. I did request it. I really wanted it, but it never showed up unless it went to the wrong address, because I move every 6 months, and I have a feeling it might have, so I missed out on it, but it looked really cool. Steve Goldie, hey John, thoughts on Clueless? It's a fun mid-90s movie with Paul Rudd, who hasn't aged since 1995. I always liked it. It's like a great satire, mid-90s movie about California girls who go shopping a lot. What more do you want me to say? I own it, I think. Do I own that on Blu-ray? I think I might. I definitely own it on DVD, but it's okay. It's such a product of its time. It's the most 1995 movie ever. Kryptonian Bane, that's a cool name. Thoughts on Arnold and Brody rumors returning for Predator films? Adrian Brody, I could live without being in a Predator film, but if they need him to somehow continue the franchise, fine, I'll take it. Arnold is a must-have. He wanted to be in the previous Predator film, The Predator, which was an abomination against all of humanity and one of the worst sequel movies ever made, along with Terminator Dark Fate. With that said, he was originally up to be in the movie, and then he read the script and he's like, I don't want to be in the movie. So good on him. And I would love a great new Predator film, like one that truly focuses on what it should be and has that same vibe of the original 80s movie. Yeah, I'd love to see it. The next one comes from Lone Tiger. I totally understand waiting for the slipcover. I have returned movies to Best Buy and have gotten replacements from the new stock just to get the slipcover. Also, I contemplated buying some on eBay, but God, they're expensive. I would never just buy a slipcover. No. But what I would do, and I have done this in a few Black Friday videos, is if I go to the store and there's another movie I want to buy, and I see that previous movie that has a slipcover now in the store, but I don't own that slipcover, I own the movie at home. What I'll do is when I go to buy that new movie at the store, I go, oh, new movie. Then I steal the slipcover off the other movie, put it on the new movie I'm buying, and then I buy that movie and I leave, and I own the slipcover now. There's no barcode on a slipcover. It's not theft. It's simply taking what is rightfully mine. And I feel like 98% of the population that buys movies don't give a shit about that slipcover. So it means more to me than someone else. That's the way I look at it. So I've done that a few times, but not often. Oh, wow. A lot of questions just popped up. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for the questions. Thank you so much. It does really mean a lot and does help. Azim the Dream Reviews. I feel like despite the fact that we don't have new stuff to talk about because of the pandemic, you YouTubers can talk about the most random things and still get views, but small YouTubers don't. Any tips, John? Azim the Dream Reviews. There's plenty of shit you can talk about. Dude, there's movie news every other week. Big movie news. Like if you would have just jumped on the bandwagon of the Snyder Cut, you could have made a new video every 3 days, and many people did. So there's plenty of things to talk about. Also, there's a lot of older movies you can talk about. But as far as like movie news or topical things go, there's not a lot of new movies that come out, but occasionally there's been some movies along the way. Also, there's new Blu-rays all the time. So you just got to jump on a topic that you're interested in and is topical and make a video, man. Just push record and go for it. Brad Astic? Okay. Super odd question, but what chair are you using? Do you recommend it? You know, I always forget the name of this chair. Are you going to make me get out of this chair and look at it to remember what it's called? It's ergonomic. What the fuck is this called? Hang on. I'll check it for you. Okay, here it is. I believe it's called, the brand name is Autonomous. Look it up. It looks like this. It's got a little headrest on it and shit. Yeah, I like it. I do recommend it. Over the years, I've went through a few gamer chairs, like gaming chairs, and like I try to love them. I really do. I think they look cool. And if I had a dedicated area where I played video games, I would probably use that chair. But for using like a gaming chair as an office chair every day, it doesn't have enough support, and I don't feel like they're all that comfortable to maneuver in. But if I was going to like lean back and play video games, a gaming chair would be fine. But this here, I like it. And the other thing is, we're talking about an office chair now. Welcome to the Flick Pick Live show, guys. But the other thing about this chair is it's like the back is like net. It's like mesh. So it breathes, and I get a sweaty back, especially when I make live videos. I get all worked up, guys, and the caffeine goes right through me and my blood boils. So yeah, it kind of vents the back and you don't get all sweaty. So yeah, I do recommend it. It's not cheap though, but Rando Commando 41, what's a better performance than Joaquin Phoenix in Joker? Here's a digital code for Joker for someone. Okay, well enjoy that digital code, whoever got it. What's a better performance than Joaquin Phoenix and Joker? We'll go off what they completely borrowed from, and that's Robert De Niro and Taxi Driver. Or I would say Jake Gyllenhaal and Nightcrawler. Or I would say Christian Bale in American Psycho. I mean, those are just a few. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, but there's far better performances. Even Heath Ledger's Joker, I liked. I thought that performance, the thing about that performance was it stood out. Like, Heath Ledger's Joker did something completely new, and it was iconic and memorable, and you could quote it and do an impression of it, and you knew as soon as someone does that Joker voice, you know exactly where that comes from. So to me, that stands out far more than Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. But don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it. Carter Lovejoy. Do you like the Peanuts holiday specials, Charlie Brown and Snoopy? They are family favorites for the household and love them every single year. I don't hate Charlie Brown. I've just never been into Charlie Brown. Like, I've seen the holiday special and the Great Pumpkin Patch, and it's like, yeah, when I was a kid, that was fun to watch, but it just never truly resonated with me, I guess I would say, because when I was a kid, like when it came to like Christmas movies, I was like, oh, let's watch A Christmas Story or Home Alone or The Santa Claus. Like, that's what I was watching. Oh, hi, Mark. Hey, Hamilton. Have a holly jolly Christmas. Well, thanks, oh, hi, Mark. Claudia Rogojan. Did you know all the glass in John Wick 3 was CGI, even in the knife fight when they break it with their arms? It looks and breaks really realistically. I did not know that. I would assumed it was like sugar glass that they use typically in movies. Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess if you do that, you get way more control over it, and in editing, you can pretty much manipulate it however you want. So I guess that does make sense. Dylan Peter, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire was a Thanksgiving movie. Yeah. Willem Dafoe comes over and they eat a Thanksgiving dinner with a large turkey. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I guess it technically was. And they have a Thanksgiving Day parade where they fight on a balloon. You're right. It was a Thanksgiving Day movie. Also, speaking of Thanksgiving Day movies, I mentioned this before, and I said one of my favorite Thanksgiving Day movies is Hook, even though it's technically a Christmas movie. But a few of my other favorite Thanksgiving Day movies are Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and another movie that no one talks about. It's a movie called Dutch. It's a great movie. It was written by John Hughes. Really good movie. Check it out if you've never seen it. Night King 01, Hollywood goal is just to ruin Arnold's franchises. At this point, will anything be better than the originals? Probably not. But if you can just make me remember the original and give me some of those those classic beats that feel nostalgic and entertain me for a few hours, I guess that's all I can really ask for in this day and age. But I would love to see like a great quality screenwriter and director get a hold of the Predator franchise, go back to it, kind of give it that gritty throwback to the 1980s action movies. And just give us what we want to see, man. That's what I would love. I would love to see like Arnold and the Predator team up to take down like another threat. I just think that would be the greatest like buddy team up ever. Danny Seat Cushion. I love great name, Danny. Hey, John. I watched Troy last night and enjoyed it very much. It had the vibe of other historical movies of the era, Gladiator, Braveheart, Patriot. I was wondering, that movie got panned by critics. What are your thoughts? Well, Danny Seat Cushion, I'll tell you my thoughts in 1 second. You're talking to a guy who loves Troy way too much. I've loved that movie. I could, if I had to reach, I could probably almost put Troy in my top 20, maybe 30 movies of all time, because I'm a fan of epic time period movies, and Troy gives me all of that. Now, it's a little cheesy at times, absolutely, but it has sort of the vibe of like a 1950s or 1960s huge epic film, and those films had a little bit of cheese to them. They definitely felt like Hollywood productions, but that's what Troy kind of felt like, a modern day version of those movies. And I loved it. I truly loved it. Like, even the opening shot, like, if you can't get into Troy and go, this is a badass movie, the opening shot where he fights Bogarius, the huge, like, 9-foot tall guy whose name is actually Nathan Jones, and he just kills him in, like, one death blow. I loved it. I was hooked on Troy since seeing it in the theater, and I loved every second of it, and I like the director's cut, and I have a lot of nitpicks with it. but it's still a highly entertaining movie, and the production value of that movie is phenomenal at times too. I mean, it's a truly epic masterpiece of a movie. The battle sequences alone. Also, when people talk about like fight scenes in movies, the one that's truly underrated to me that no one ever mentions is the fight with Eric Bana and Brad Pitt, where they're fighting one another, and it's not overdone, it's not overproduced. They're just fighting each other with swords, and it just feels so real and brutal, and it just feels like you're there. So yeah, I love Troy, man. You sack of wine. God, such a good movie. Such a good movie. Don't get me worked up, man. Lone Tiger, do you think most films will eventually be released on 4K? Yes, I do. Or is it dependent on demand or anything else? A couple of movies I really want to see on 4K are Tron Legacy, The Adjustment Bureau. That's an interesting choice. The Adjustment Bureau. Interesting. Okay. And that are in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Really, The Adjustment Bureau's in your top 5 favorite movies of all time. Hey, I get it, man. I got some weird picks too. By the way, speaking of Matt Damon's in The Adjustment Bureau, right? Speaking of Matt Damon, I just watched for the first time ever The Promised Land with Matt Damon on, I think it was Netflix. Forgettable movie, but it was okay. But yeah, man, some movies I want to see on 4K. I want to see Point Break hit 4K. I need that. Essentially, I just want all my favorite movies of all time to hit 4K. And a lot of them eventually will. Another one I want to see on 4K is Nightcrawler, obviously. But it also baffles me sometimes. There's some movies that you just think would be on 4K already, like the Avatar movie. Like, why is Avatar, a movie that's almost like made for 4K digital, almost like a demo quality 4K movie that you could sell a 4K TV with? Like, how is Avatar not on 4K yet? James Cameron, hurry the hell up. Also, True Lies would be great on 4K. The Abyss, maybe Terminator 2 Judgment Day, like a good version of it on 4K that doesn't look completely butchered and ruined. That would be great. Those are a few. Ermin Yabber, favorite Batman the animated series episode minus Heart of Ice. Was that the Mr. Freeze episode, I would assume? I do. If that was, I recall that as well. I'm trying to think of one that specifically I wouldn't remember the title of it. As much as I never liked Clayface as a villain, I remember the Clayface episode intrigued me. But if you're referring to the Mr. Freeze episode, yeah, that was a great episode as well. Like, it was pretty heavy for like a kid's series, right? It was pretty dark and heavy. It's like, I'm Mr. Freeze, here's my dead wife. It's like, okay, I get your motivations, man. Chill. Chris Wilson, what are your thoughts on the Dune trailer having more views than the Batman trailer? Is Warner Brothers not betting on Dune enough? Is that a fact? Because I mean, maybe on the Warner Brothers website, that could be a possibility, but I don't know if conclusively you could say that, because there's like 10,000 YouTube channels that uploaded the Batman trailer. So I don't know if that's true or not. I would be almost surprised if it is true. The only thing I would assume is if the Warner Brothers YouTube channel has more hits on that trailer as opposed to the Batman one, I feel like it's because so many other channels ripped the trailer and uploaded it, so the views are a bit more sparsed out. That might be a thing. Michael Boher, thanks for the super chat, Michael. Steven, where can I send my videographer reel in case you do another epic video production like the family video? Just tweet me, man. Tweet me a link. Show me what you can do. I could utilize a good camera guy every once in a while. I have a few ideas, so let me know what you can do. Just tweet me that shit. Send me a link. Dylan Peter, have you ever walked out of a movie theater and thought, that's my new favorite movie of all time? I personally did that with Endgame. And by the way, guys, I'm about 6 minutes behind on the questions. So if you asked a question 6 minutes ago, I'm just now getting to it. So I'm going to get to them all. And then we're going to do a lot of other fun stuff because I missed you. Yeah, Nightcrawler. Honestly, I talk about Nightcrawler all the time, but when I saw that movie in the theater, I was like, okay, please go this way. And it did. And I was like, please don't ruin this. And please just like surprise me. And it kept doing that. And I was like, watching them film Nightcrawler in the theater was like, I felt like it was truly made for me. I was like, someone went into my brain, wrote the movie I've always wanted to see but never knew I needed, and that was Nightcrawler. And so, yeah, watching that in the theater, I probably thought that to myself. Also, another time, I thought that was probably Batman Begins. I was like, yep, this movie felt like it was made for me. This is like the Batman movie I've been waiting to see since I was a stupid kid, and I got it. Lone Tiger. This 4K list will probably be split into multiple messages, but here we go. Star Wars full collection including Rogue One and Solo, Bourne collection, The Dark Knight trilogy, Black Hawk Down, 1917, and Rambo. Good picks. I just actually, you know what I did last night? I was cruising Disney Plus, and for some odd reason, I watched the best 30 seconds of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which is the Darth Vader reshoot scene where he just obliterates and berserker attacks a whole bunch of people in a hallway. I watched that. Like, I fast forwarded all the way to that part, watched it, ended it, and I was like, I'm done. I'm good. And then I went on with my life. Abinash Mohani. Watch Tenet. It's Nolan's resume for James Bond. I feel like the last... Tenet is definitely his resume for Bond, but... You could also watch Inception, which is another his other resume for Bond. I mean, yeah, the guy clearly wants to make a James Bond movie without essentially saying this is James Bond. I just hope if he ever did make a James Bond movie, someone steps in and says, you know what, man, hey, let me handle the sound mixing on this. Okay, we can hear them talk now. All right. Fiddle Griddle, love you, John. Been watching for a while. How do you feel about the potential collab between Ari Aster and Joaquin Phoenix? Both can do no wrong. Am I dumb? What is the movie? I wish you would have given me more insight. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. I don't see anything. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to him as a director, I liked Hereditary. Actually, I hated Midsummer. Hereditary, I liked, but I don't know which new movie you're referring to. Maybe it doesn't have a title, but yeah, that sounds like it's definitely probably going to be a dark, weird movie, to say the least. Where am I at on the question? Oh, the next one comes from Richard Walton. Yo, John, love you and your content. You've inspired me so much in my love for movies and collecting. What was your favorite part of Snyder's DC? Probably Man of Steel. I would say conclusively that felt like one of his most competent movies he's made in a while. I liked Man of Steel. People shit on it. I liked it. I was like, it sort of reinvigorated me to think Superman was a badass. And it has its issues. It's not a perfect movie. I could sit there and nitpick it. I really could, but I really enjoyed it. And the Hans Zimmer score still was uplifting and awesome and epic. So I would say probably Man of Steel. I saw some potential in Batman v Superman. Like every once in a while in that movie, I was watching and I was like, yeah, do more of that. And then it just strays away from it. Like you see the Batman warehouse scene. You're like, yeah, if you could have just made a movie like that for 2 hours, that would have been great. Like, but yeah, probably Man of Steel. Claudia Rogajon. Shane Black, who writes mostly buddy cop movies and comedies, I kind of expected The Predator to be more of a comedy. Maybe that's why I wasn't that mad. We'll talk about that in just 1 second. Yeah, but the whole subplot with the autistic kid was kind of like out of place and forced, and some of the comedy, don't get me wrong, I like Shane Black comedy, I really do. Like The Nice Guys. That's fine. That was a well-blended comedy buddy action movie. But The Predator, though comedy does belong in it, it was like the forefront and everything else it felt like it was made up the morning of. I don't know how anyone enjoyed that movie. I really don't understand it. It just felt incomprehensibly bad to me. And I think Shane Black can write some great movies. I was just so surprised that's what he decided to do. I think when it comes to Shane Black, he's better off making original movies rather than taking a franchise and doing anything with it. Like, Like Iron Man 3. Look what he did with that movie. He made the same mistakes in Iron Man 3 that he made with the Predator movie. So when he writes original things like The Nice Guys, he does a much better job. Or another movie he directed, I believe he wrote it as well, or maybe he didn't direct it and he wrote it. Either way, was The Long Kiss Goodnight, which came out in the mid-90s with Gina Davis and Samuel Jackson. That's a great action movie. Night King 01, Laugh Out Loud, Bulgarius, played by Rictus Erectus in Mad Max. Absolutely, yeah, his name's Nathan Jones, though. But yeah, he was Rictus Erectus. And I'm telling you guys right now, if the apocalypse happens tomorrow, my name will be Rictus Erectus, or Flictus Erectus, whatever you want to call me. The next one, Jordan. What house in Game of Thrones would you pledge loyalty to? I don't know. I really don't know if I'd be a good guy or a bad guy in Game of Thrones. That's the truth. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know. Which house do you guys see me in if this was Game of Thrones? I don't know. I definitely want to hang out with Peter Dinklage. But I don't know which house I would belong to. I would like to be anything but a White Walker. Or not a White Walker. Actually, that'd be okay too. That's a good question. I don't know, man. I don't know. Justin Emerson Richards, thoughts on The Mummy, 1999, one of my favorite movies. Love it. Always have. Fun, big budget B movie, directed by Stephen Sommers, who then went on to direct Van Helsing, which is a guilty pleasure movie of mine, which feels like a big budget B-rate movie as well. Yeah, The Mummy was fun. It was perfect. I was hoping Universal would get the Dark Universe and go that direction with it and do a good job, but they just can't seem to do it right, can they? Though I guess people like The Invisible Man. Rando Commando 41, love your new ride. What is it? Oh, yeah. So in my Black Friday video, a lot of people noticed I got a new car, and I did buy a new car in the summer, and I bought a Toyota CHR. So I like it. It's cool. It's edgy. And somebody pointed out, and they must have read my mind, the reason I bought a Toyota CHR is because from the back, it sort of reminds me of the Tumbler. Just ever so slightly. It has like the rigid lines. That's what drew me to it. So yeah, that's what I bought. Art Vandalay, based on the first 3 movies, Final Destination or Scream, stay buff, John, seeing too much neck. I'll just do this the whole time till my head explodes. Based on the first 3 movies, if I had to pick one, probably the first Scream movie was great, man. That was a great movie, but also the first Final Destination movie really blew me away. If I had to go back and rewatch either of them now, just out of like pure entertainment, I'd probably rather watch Final Destination because it's more fun. It's definitely like more of a popcorn flick. You can just watch people be brutally murdered and decapitated and go, ha 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 ha. The later ones actually became that. The first one was actually still solid. And I don't care what you say, or maybe it's just me. Every time I get on a plane, the opening scene of Final Destination goes through my head, and I'm like, I almost have like a vision where I want to scream, everyone get off the plane. And then as I'm in the lobby explaining myself, the plane blows up. But by the way, the FBI is probably on the way to my house right now because I just said plane blows up. But where was I going with that? I don't know. Lone Tiger, 4K list continued. X-Men prequel trilogy. Okay, good stuff. Avengers. Good stuff. 1 through 4. Steelbook collection. Cool, man. Hacksaw Ridge. I like Hacksaw Ridge, but I don't know if I'd watch it ever again. Ant-Man, Thor, Sicario, the Expendables trilogy. Yeah, the Expendables were a letdown to me. All of them were a letdown to me. But yeah, cool. Good pickups, man. Sicario's a good one. I bet that looks great on 4K. I own Sicario Day of Soldano on 4K, but not the first one. James Doshier. Hey, John, have you seen The Black Cauldron from Disney? Yes, I have. Not in a long time. Like, it's probably been, 15, 20 years at least. I need to go back and watch it. I know it's sort of like an underrated 80s Disney movie that didn't do very well at the box office either. Angelo. Oh, I like that. That's a good name. Thoughts on the movie? Knock Knock. Keanu went full Nick Cage at the end. Have I seen Knock Knock? I don't think I've seen it, man. Keanu went full Nick Cage? Yeah, I haven't seen it. Dylan Peter. Hey, John, for the next couple of questions, talk in that voice like how you did back in 2015 when you were all muscles. Hey there, guys. It's Johnny with the Flick Pick channel. I'm going to talk about new movies today. I guess that was it. I don't know. People always ask, did your voice change? No. When I did that voice for a couple of years, I was just trying to, I don't know, have more of a, I guess, as more of a gimmick or something. More just a little bit more character in my videos. I really don't know why I talked like that. I really don't know. It was sort of just fun. No other reason. My voice didn't technically, I could talk like that right now if I wanted to. I would just lose my voice. And I actually used to lose my voice often back in like 2015, 2016. NJ Wolf, John Wick. Sorry, I was reading that very oddly slow. John Wick versus Jason Bourne versus Ethan Hunt versus Brian Mills versus Robert McCall versus Deckard Shaw versus Christian Wolf in a ladder match for the gold. Who wins? I don't know. Maybe Jason Bourne. Because I always feel like he had the most agile movement. Like he could almost do parkour, but he also could do hand-to-hand combat. So in a ladder match, I'm going to go with Jason Bourne on that. Ryman 6000. Have you ever seen Trailer Park Boys? Maybe once or twice. I never really got into it. That's all I can really say about it, and I don't recall anything about it. Night King 01, Two-Face origin episode scared me as a kid. Yeah, that's another great one. I completely forgot about that. Yes, absolutely. And I always liked anything with Bane in it. Anytime Bane was featured in the Batman animated series, I was always into it. I always liked to just see Batman fight a physically imposing villain. Like, it always intrigued me more. Raymond Watt, why do you have Blu-rays for movies you don't like? Well, the majority of the Blu-rays I own, I do like. I don't think all of them are great movies, but there are a few bad ones in there. I do agree. I don't know. Sometimes they're just guilty pleasure movies I like to have on the shelf. Now, if you're talking about whenever I do like a Blu-ray update video where I have new movies that were sent to me, and it's a bad movie and I don't love it, that's because it was sent to me and I'm going to tell you about it. Like it or hate it, I'm still going to tell you about it. It doesn't mean I keep them. And honestly, you can't really see it, but back there on the Blu-ray shelf, I have a stack of movies I'm going to get rid of. Like every once in a while, like once a year, I go through my collection and I'm like, I'm never going to watch this shit again. I'm never going to watch this shit again. And I'd sell them or trade them in for a movie I actually do want. Or I just get rid of the duplicate copies if I upgrade them to 4K as well. Johnny Carr, bad at work at a movie theater. Any pointers? What an odd time to start a job at a movie theater, man. I don't think you could have picked a worse time. But yeah, it's the nostalgia, the fun factor of it, not the nostalgia, I guess, but the fun factor of it wears off really quick. You're like, oh, I like movies. I'm going to work at a movie theater. That was my mindset. And then I started working there. I was like, I fucking hate selling popcorn and concessions and standing here all day. But if you do work at the movie theater, do everything. Listen to me. Listen up close. If you work at the movie theater, become an usher. You don't want to sell tickets. You definitely don't want to work the concession stand. You want to become an usher. Okay? Now the usher, you just disappear. Occasionally you show your face in the lobby, you scoop up a little popcorn spill, but then you just disappear. And you're supposed to clean up theaters. And you can do that occasionally, but the best thing is you can just go vanish, hide in a movie theater, and watch the movie and make sure no one else finds you. That's what I used to do very often. Lone Tiger, a few new movies he also picked up. You picked up a lot of movies, man. The Adjustment Bureau really resonated with me because of the fighting for what you love and free no matter what obstacles come your way. Okay, fair enough. Also, Matt Damon and Emily Blunt had amazing chemistry, and I hate romance films, but this is the only one I love. Interesting. I remember watching it, and I just did not get into it. Must-tie reviews. I swear you're Colossus in X-Men 2. I'll take it. As long as... Never mind. I was going to make a joke. I'm not going to say it. Yes, I am. I'm going to say it because 2020 doesn't scare me. As long as the director doesn't proposition me, I'll be fine. I'm not going to dive in. I'm not going to dive further into that. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, okay, cool. Age of the Keyboard Warrior. Do you think Jurassic World Dominion will have a dark ending where dinos will rule the earth and humans kind of go extinct? Absolutely. That's my theory on it, because they're going to make a spin-off series of Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. And it would only make sense, that spin-off series, where it's sort of a apocalyptic wasteland where dinosaurs rule and humans are wandering around. Think of The Walking Dead, but instead of zombies, you have dinosaurs. That's what I would imagine that series would be, and I think that's where the movie's going to end off on. And I hope it does. But also I hope there's a twist in there or a surprise. So, where am I at? All right. I'm doing my best to catch up on the questions, guys. Jeffrey Simpkins, staring competition. How long can you look at the camera without blinking? Thanks. Have a great night. Well, Jeffrey, thank you for the very generous super chat, man. Okay. I'll try just for you, Jeffrey. And I'll try to answer a question as I do it too. Hang on. As I answer this question, I'll do that for you. Magical Mystical. Now that's a great name. John, guess my identity. Here's a hint. My most anticipated movie is Jurassic World Dominion. You're the best, man. Probably Azim the Dream Reviews, if I had to guess. Am I right? All right. I guess I just answered the question. All right. Starting now. Hey, guys. So I guess I should have... I did it for 5 seconds. I'm sorry. I suck. And it's not fair because I'm looking at a very bright light right now. Noah Campanelli? Noah Campanelli. I feel like I said that right that time. Hey, man, you're such an inspiration. On a professional and personal level, I'm a filmmaker from Ontario, and I'd like to make some content for you. Check my Instagram out. Also, not to be a dick, but I'm a bigger Batman fan than you. I am Vengeance. I am Night. I am Batman. Yeah? Okay. Have you ever have you met the real voice of Batman? Huh? Have you done that and put your arm around him and he put his arm around you and you took a picture together at WizardCon and then you made a video? No, you have not. I have done that. But you could be a bigger fan. I'll give it to you, man. Yeah, can you just DM me a link to your stuff or remind me on Twitter, please? And I'll have it in my messages and I can go back and reference it. I'd much appreciate that. By the way, I was talking about Kevin Conroy a few minutes ago. Claudia Rogajon, can you do a deep voice from 5 years ago? I just did it a little bit ago. I just did it. Hey there, guys. How are you? I'm John with the Flickpick channel. Is that what you wanted? I don't know. Roger, I know you're not into politics. I'm not. I'm into politics. I just don't talk about politics. But which politician or political movement would you like to see turn into a film, and what genre would it be? Suspense thriller, and just take the shit happening in 2020 alone? And that would be the most intense, thrilling political movie of all time, especially if down the road people can uncover some hidden truths or some facts that we don't know about publicly right now. But if they could uncover some of these behind-the-scenes dealings in like a decade and make a movie about 2020 politics, that would be a damn good movie. Imagine that. Roger, Keanu Reeves wants to know if you're ready for Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I see ads for that all over. I was actually at Best Buy earlier, and there's a huge ad when you walk into Best Buy with Cyberpunk, and it looks cool. It looks like a really cool RPG type game. If I had an Xbox or a new Xbox, I'd probably check it out. It looks like a fun game. I don't know if I'll ever play it. Craig Thompson. Here is what I want to come to 4K physical. Would you agree? Monster Squad, Dual Ninja Turtles, 1990 Pirates of the Caribbean, Black Pearl. Ooh, yeah, I guess Pirates of the Caribbean isn't on 4K, is it? Wow. Oh, 1990 Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, okay, Ninja Turtles 1998. I was confused. Okay. Yeah, I would also like to see Ninja Turtles on 4K, the original. Or Secret of the Ooze, too. Yeah, fuck yeah. I'd love to see both those. What else did you see? Monster Squad? Yeah, I've never been a huge... I've never loved Monster Squad. But yeah, more movies, more catalog titles on 4K, the better. And as soon as everything hits 4K, then they'll come out with 8K, and then I'm just going to give up in life and buy all the same shit again. Ermin Yabber... Wish we got the Batflick movie directed by Affleck. Yeah, I did too, man. I think we got really close to making it. I really do. I think that was the idea all along. Let's get Affleck, an award-winning director. He'll write and direct his own Batman movie that he's starring in. It'll sort of be like what he did with The Town, but then he made that really bad, boring mobster movie, and then everyone just asked him about Batman, and he's like, I can't take this shit anymore. So unfortunately, it's a thing we'll never see, but I always wanted to. Jurassic Joey, been a fan for years. Would you watch your videos with my late wife back in the day? Oh, I read that completely wrong. Would watch your videos with my late wife back in the day, and I'm still here. Thanks for years of laughter and looking forward to more. Well, thanks, man. And late wife, I assumed she passed away, or did you guys break up? But yeah, sorry to hear that, man. But thank you so much for watching and the support. It means a lot, man. And stay safe, buddy. Michael Tellez has become a member. Yay, Michael. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. Michael, look out for a brand new YouTube member and Patreon only Q&A coming very soon. I'm going to upload it. I'll try to upload it tomorrow. I said that last time, and what happened was I did shoot the video, and the audio was all fucked up, so I had to redo it. Steely Force, hey, man, there's a beverage here. Indeed there is. Oh, the Big Lebowski, I love it. Benny, what 4K player do you recommend I buy a few starter movies? I think for the most part, just about any 4K player you buy will be fine. I own a Samsung 4K player, but whatever's affordable, whatever's a good deal, just buy that one. I'm sure it'll be fine. Like I said, if you want some recommendations, watch my entire 4K movie collection video where I just talk about my 4K movies. A few that I would recommend definitely is Mad Max Fury Road. Looks great on 4K. Will blow your eyeballs out of the sockets. Buy that first. But if you're a fan of like Batman movies, The Dark Knight Rises actually looks better on 4K. That's another great one because it actually used 70 millimeter IMAX footage. So those are a couple. Go with those. Claudia Rogajon. Look up a picture of Bane in the new Batman Adventures. He looked like a BDSM practitioner. Look it up now. It's hilarious. I like the luchador look. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He has like a leather gimp mask. Yeah, it kind of takes you out of it just a little bit. Absolutely. I've seen it, man. I'm just like, that's okay. I'll pass on that shit. Like, unless Bane lives in a pawn shop basement, he shouldn't look like that. Lucas Bernowskowitz. Can we stop making Terminator movies? No. It's not can we stop making Terminator movies, but can we start making good Terminator movies? That's all I'm asking for. Lone Tiger. Have you seen The Prince of Egypt with Joseph King of Dreams? Or Joseph King of Dreams? Prince of Egypt. I've seen Prince of Egypt, yeah. Joseph King of Dreams, no, I have not. The former one is my favorite animated movie of all time. Yes, it's a movie about religion, but there's so much more, including an amazing character development. Highly recommend it. Yeah, I haven't seen the second one. The first one I have seen, it was like a DreamWorks movie, right? Yeah, I remember watching it once a long time ago. Um, hey, Kyung, you gonna die? What's your favorite Patrick Swayze movie? Roadhouse. Whenever I see his beautiful face, I feel calm and slightly warm inside. Like everything is going to be okay. I've always been a huge fan of Patrick Swayze. Always, always. And the thing is, every time I watch one of his movies, he looks a little bit like my dad, just a little bit. Like they have a lot of similar features. They look like they could be cousins, at least. But yeah, Roadhouse was always like the movie I watched growing up, and it's such a guilty pleasure movie. But just some of the quotes in that movie: "Pain don't hurt." Just fuck yeah, so good. Z White, have you seen Mr. Nobody with Jake Gyllenhaal and Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams? I don't think I've seen Mr. Nobody. Bicentennial Man is a truly underrated movie. I've always enjoyed that. And the thing I like most about movies like that is it spans a lifetime. Like it's sort of like Forrest Gump. It spans his lifetime almost. And Bicentennial Man does the same thing, but then it goes into the future. And I like that. And it's sort of one of those movies that make you contemplate your own humanity ever so slightly. So yeah, always been a fan of Bicentennial Man. And am I going to get Requiem for a Dream on 4K? Probably not. I think it's a great movie, but the thing is that movie to me, I can rewatch it occasionally. But have you ever just been like, you know what movie I'm gonna watch tonight? Requiem for a Dream. I'm gonna go grab it off the shelf and put it in. Like it's such an unsettling movie that it gets really gross when Marlon Wayans pukes in mashed potatoes and Jennifer Connelly, well, needs to earn some extra money. Yeah, it's a great movie, but I just don't think I would like go out of my way to rewatch it if I just wanted to have like a relaxing time on a Friday night. Like, hey, family, everyone gather around. Let's watch Requiem for a Dream. Maybe one day. It is actually, that's a good movie to show like your kids if you never want them to get addicted to heroin. Show them that movie. All right. Where did the question? Okay. Michael Tellas, which franchise is better, Friday the 13th or Halloween? Definitely Halloween. Halloween. Yeah, there's at least like 3 movies in that franchise I like. I love the first one. And I would say I like the first Halloween movie far more than any Friday the 13th film. I watched all the Friday the 13th movies last Halloween, and they're all really bad. Yeah, they are. They really are. Like, they truly are bad. Like, they're fun and campy and like fun slasher flicks, and a few of them are good. Like the Corey Feldman one is great, where he plays like young Tommy. But outside of that, like there's some fun stuff in those movies. But to watch the whole hour-and-a-half movie, it just gets really repetitive. And I'm like, I don't know how people rewatch these all the time. I really don't. Like, give me Nightmare on Elm Street any day. Just JDD24. Hey, John, I loved the last flick trip. My favorite part is when you yelled no in the parking lot. You rock, buddy. Well, thanks, man. And the funny thing is, there was like 5 people right beside me looking at me do that. And I'm like, this has to be done for the camera. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I to be honest with you, I didn't even plan on making that Black Friday video until the night of Black Friday. And I was like, I got to do it. I have to do it. Like, I felt compelled more than ever than anything in life to go shoot that video for you guys. So thank you guys if you watched it. I tried to give it my best. And in that video, I used my new GoPro. So let me know what you guys thought about the look of that. You guys like the look of the GoPro in the new Black Friday video? Like, I like it because it gives you that wide angle lens and it kind of makes you feel like you're in the store a little bit. The picture quality isn't as great as I want it to be, especially in like low light situations. But overall, I like the sort of wide angle lens on it. Lucas Bernowskowitz, how bad is the end of Spawn? Well, the end of Spawn looks like something some kid made in paint with a budget of $7 and some chewed up bubble gum, and that's essentially what happened at the end of Spawn. If you've never seen it, well, it's atrociously bad. They actually ran out of money, and they're like, oh shit. So they just had people stand in front of a green screen and made some really shitty 1995 graphics. Lone Tiger, by the way, one of the guys you're pronouncing his name wrong. I'm probably pronouncing 98% of the shit I say wrong, man. You just got to roll with it. It's pronounced like this. Imran. Imran? Oh, so I'm saying Yabar, but it should be Imran. Imran. How would I ever know that? How would you ever assume that? I'm sorry. If you need me to say your name perfectly, please like lay it out how I need to pronounce it, because I am incompetent. The J is an I. Okay. Well, good to know. If you're still unsure, you can look it up. Haha, sorry, just bothering me. I'm sorry too, man. Ultimate Blue Eyes White Dragon. What is your favorite adult XX movie of all time? I don't know. Wasn't there a look up the Avatar parodies. Those are funny. All right, continuing on. Connor Baker. Never heard you talk about it. Thoughts on Scream? Yeah, the first Scream movie was great. Remember seeing it as a kid. The twist blew me away. My parents are going to be pissed at me. I like it, and I'm looking forward to the new one. Everything in between, or everything after the first Scream, I was not a fan of. But yeah, it was a nice satire movie on the genre, and it was refreshing. Jack Lame. Love your work, John. Was wondering if you'd seen the 2006 film Black Snake Moan. Yes, I have. Starring Sam Jackson. Thoughts? And I think it's seriously underrated. I liked it. Christina Ricci in the movie did a really good job, and definitely a weird, bizarre movie to say the least. But I remember seeing it in theaters, and I was like, this is thought-provoking. Yeah, I liked it. I just don't think it doesn't have a lot of rewatchability, maybe. F-Ball 87. Any anticipation for the Uncharted movie? Loved the games, but every year it gets pushed back, and the direction they're going with the story has my excitement dying. Yeah, so they've been trying to make that movie for like 5-6 years now, and at one point they wanted Mark Wahlberg to actually star as Nathan Drake, and now he's going to be in the movie as the supporting character. And then they had the director of The Fighter, I forget his name, attached to direct it, and he dropped out. So, yeah, I get what they're doing with Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland. I just wish he was just aged a little bit more for the character of Nathan Drake. I just feel like he looks a little young, and I know it's sort of like the prequel story going into Nathan Drake, but I was never a huge fan of the Uncharted games, or not to say that, I just never really played them. So all I hope is it's an entertaining, well-done video game movie, because we rarely ever get those. So as long as it does that, you know, my expectations aren't that high with it, because once again, I said I've never been a huge fan of the games. But then again, I'm a guy still waiting for the Zombies Ate My Neighbors live action movie. Where's that shit at? I've only been waiting since the mid-1990s. Just JDD24. Thoughts on the movie Unstoppable? I don't like the movie Unstoppable. I actually hate the movie Unstoppable, and I'll tell you exactly why. That was at a weird time where Tony Scott was making all these, like, it almost felt like they should have been made for Netflix movies. Like, there wasn't much plot. There wasn't much substance, but he was, like, making these movies that just felt like they should only be 25 minutes long based on the story they had to tell. Then they stretch it out. And Tony Scott, he's very hit or miss for me. And there's something about that movie. That's the Chris Pine movie, right? It's like they try to stop a freight train, which was based on another movie made for TV where they try to stop a train. It's called like Atomic Train or some bullshit like that. And I just didn't like the movie. I'm like, I get it. You're trying to, like, there's a train, and it's like, I get it. You watch the movie Speed, and this inspired this. And I just didn't get into it. I was like, it was just so blah and generic. And then he also made Pelham 123, which it felt like all these ideas borrowed from other movies that did something similar, but then he did this weird stylistic take on it, especially with Unstoppable, where he makes really high contrast movies with weird frame rates that look like music videos. Yeah, I definitely was not a fan of Tony Scott for a while there. Like, Man on Fire was great. Like, that worked, but a lot of the other shit he did, just especially in the later 2000s, I did not like. Alex Carr, favorite Jim Carrey movie? Mine would either be Dumb and Dumber or Liar Liar. I think Dumb and Dumber is the quintessential Jim Carrey movie. Yeah, I'd go with that. Now, if you want like Jim Carrey best performance movie, like a real movie, I would say probably The Truman Show. Jurassic Joey. Theory, Steve Trevor in Wonder Woman is actually Captain Kirk. He beamed out of the plane before it exploded. That's why he's in Wonder Woman 84 and hasn't aged. I am curious to see their excuse for that. Or is he like genetically cloned? Did the Nazis take his body and do something with it? Did he parachute out of it, land in enemy territory where they took his body and cloned him or something? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, he's essentially sort of like the rip-off version of Steve Rogers without like the super soldier serum, in a way, in my opinion. Claudia Rogujon. You know what I noticed? Every video game movie except for Mortal Kombat has nothing to do with the game. Like Uncharted, just make him 30 years old Nathan Drake. Yeah, the thing is, all right, you're making a movie for the main demographic of Uncharted are probably like late teens, 20s. And Tom Holland really fits that demographic, especially coming off of playing Spider-Man. And I get what they're doing. The name recognition is there. And Tom Holland will probably sign a deal where he's around for the next 10 years to make 5 sequels. And he'll slowly but surely, hopefully, age into the role. I get what they're doing, but I do agree. Like, if Tom Holland was just like, he looked 5 years older, it'd be so much a better casting choice. All right, guys. So I caught up on all the questions. Now what I want to do is I want to introduce the new segment, Magical Mystical Movie Memories. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's going to go down, memory lane, and it's going to get a little bit nostalgic. And I'm just going to talk about one movie memory I have, an experience where I go to the movie theater. I'm going to do that right after a quick break, just like a 2-minute break. So don't go anywhere. Go refill your drinks, grab some more popcorn. And what I want you guys to do in the comment section, if you guys have a great movie memory, like about any movie, tell me the movie, give me a quick little synopsis on the year or what you did. Just tell me one of your favorite movie memories, and I'll share mine as soon as I come back from this break. And I'll also introduce the brand new intro, which is really cool. So yeah, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back, and then we'll have some more fun. All right, guys. And here we go. So thank you guys. Sorry for the quick break. I hope you guys got to use the restroom or whatever you had to do. And by the way, Caleb Eisenhuth, thanks for the super chat, man. You didn't ask a question, but thank you so much. The next one, I'm going to answer a few more questions real quick. Actually, I'm going to answer more questions right after this segment because I want to get the segment going before I completely disintegrate into my chair. So yeah, here it goes, guys. Introducing the brand new segment to the weekly live show. It's called Magical Mystical Movie Memories. So enjoy this awesome epic intro, and then I'm going to take a stroll down memory lane in just 1 second. And if that didn't get you pumped up, I don't know what will. I've had that idea for that intro for such a long time, to use the kid Danny from Last Action Hero watching a movie, and I just thought watching him watch American Psycho, a violent axe murdering scene, would just be hilarious. And when I watched the movie for the first time, I looked just like him, like in the theater eating popcorn and enjoying it ever so much. But the movie I'm going to talk about today, and it's sort of one of my favorite weird guilty pleasure movies of all time. It's The Three Musketeers, brought to you by Disney in 1993. Now, I remember seeing this movie as a kid, and I remember the day specifically because typically as a family, we would all go see one movie, or if my sisters, I have older sisters, they might want to go see something else. So what would happen is me and my dad would go see the movie we want to see, and my sisters and my mom would go see like the other movie at the same theater. So I remember we all packed into my dad's van one day. We drive to the movie theater, and him and me, we watched The Three Musketeers. It's like, why not? We're huge fans of Oliver Platt and Chris O'Donnell. And plus, just once again, I love time period movies, and I love just the fighting, and it's a fun movie. It's pure escapism, and even as a kid, that was something that just resonated with me. And my sisters and my mom went to go see another movie that came out at the same time, and that was Addams Family Values, which is the sequel, which I eventually did see. So we see the movie, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun time. And the movie has Charlie Sheen, who in years later in life kind of went a weird direction. You never really would have expected watching it. But yeah, I always like daydreamed being one of the Three Musketeers. Like, I don't know what my name would have been. But I always liked their name, Porthos and D'Artagnan. And I'm just making things up at this point. So great movie, and I always liked the ending to the movie where it takes place in the like the underground lair, and there's like the guy who tortures people, and he's all scarred up and crazy looking. But that's not the main memory I want to share with you. The main thing I want to mention to you guys is I almost died the day I saw The Three Musketeers back in 1993. That's right. So during the movie, I had a whole bunch of candy. I had sprees, I had gummy bears, I had popcorn. I was loaded. On the way back home, we're driving home down a country road after the movie, and I'm eating my sprees like a stupid little kid, and I guess I forgot to chew one. And it became lodged in my throat. And I started choking to death. I really did. I couldn't breathe for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. And I remember my sister trying to give me like CPR, but she's only 3 years older than me, and she doesn't know what she's doing. I think she was actually making it worse. So what happened was my dad started driving like 100 miles per hour down a dirt road. My uncle just so happened to live on that road we were passing right at the exact moment I was choking to death. He flies into the driveway. I'm carried into my uncle's house. I remember him doing like some kind of weird form of CPR on me. Maybe he just hung me upside down and smacked me. I don't remember. And then chugging a whole bunch of water. And eventually that little spree candy got dislodged from my throat. I spit it out. And that was the day I saw Three Musketeers. So that's my magical and mystical movie memory. I hope you enjoyed it. And feel free to share your magical mystical movie memories down below so I can read them. It's just fun. And stay tuned for more of these every week. I will have a new one. Will they be as life-threatening as this one? Probably not. But, The Three Musketeers. I still enjoy the movie. All right, guys. So what'd you think about the new segment? And I don't script anything out. I just make it up as I go. So it is a true story. Completely 100% true. And I'll never forget that day. I actually have a few stories that get a little bit weird relating to movies. All right, the next one. Actually, I'm going to see if any of you guys chimed in about your movie memories. I know there's a delay on here, so I'll just wait for you guys to. My friend stuck his tongue on an ice pole like Dumb and Dumber when we were kids. Well, technically, I guess that is from Dumb and Dumber, but really that's a scene from the Christmas Story. That's like where it originated from. And my sister did the same thing, actually, when she was a kid. Glad you didn't die, John. I am too. I wouldn't be here today. Imagine if I did die, though. Back in 1993. I was 6 years old. Imagine if I died. Wow. Watching the three, or after the Three Musketeers would have been the last movie I ever saw. That would have been weird. Does your girlfriend watch this live or in another room? Sometimes. I tell her not to, though. I'm like, I can just come out and talk to you afterwards. You can see the live version of me. Oh, you don't want that? Okay. All right, let's dive back into the questions here. Roger, thoughts on Noah Hawley's pitch for Disney's Alien TV series? His idea was aliens with no xenomorph. Leave the Predator and Alien alone, Disney. Also, sorry, I didn't know you were into politics. Bad, Roger. It's okay, Roger. That sounds awful. So, aliens without aliens. Okay, sounds great. Not. Tarantino Nightstand. Hey, John, why does Robert Pattinson have a cartoonishly square jaw, cartoonishly thick eyebrows, and cartoonishly strong hairline? Could that be in part why he was cast as Batman? He just has strong features, man. Strong features look good on the screen. That's all I can say. You don't want to, and especially you want a Batman with a strong jawline. I would say Affleck had the strongest one ever. But yeah, I guess that would be why. Daniel Coolio. Hey, John, just a technical tip. Your microphone is attached to your table? ? Yes, it is. If so, you should attach the mic arm to the wall or get a shock mount to avoid the bass sound when you touch the table. Is it really that bad? I listened back to it and it doesn't sound all that. Maybe I was tapping the table a lot, but I listen back to it often and it doesn't sound that bad. Now, if I was doing a professional show, maybe I would. Or maybe I just won't touch the table. How's that? But I'm not going to, I'll leave it attached. I don't want a shock mount either. I tried to buy one. It was more of a pain in the ass than it was worth. But thanks for the tip. Night King 01, laugh out loud. John, I used to watch The Three Musketeers every day as a kid with my DVD copy that I still own. Tim Curry was amazing in that movie. Yeah, Tim Curry was a great villain. He's always been a great villain. He was a great villain in It. He was a great villain in Home Alone 2. Yeah, it never gets old. A cheese pizza. Patrick John. My movie memory, actually a TV show, but who cares? The first time I watched Stranger Things, it was raining, it was 2 a.m., and I was wrapped up in a blanket. I'd never been more immersed in my life. Sounds good, man. That right there makes me want to just go wrap up in a blanket and watch something. I'll just do that for the next 3 hours. You guys can watch me watch something. All right, the next one comes from Jack Lame. Thoughts on the 1998 film Soldier starring Kurt Russell takes place in the same canon as Blade Runner. I didn't know it took place in the same canon as Blade Runner. Interesting. Yeah, I've seen it multiple times. I remember watching it a lot. It seemed like it was back in the late 90s. It seemed like it was always on some cable channel. And it sort of had like a cheap vibe about it, right? It felt like a very B movie. And I remember the villain that he has to go up against in the movie, Kane, who's like a bald guy who wears like tank tops. I thought the concept of Soldier was interesting. Rob K, thoughts on Young Guns 1988. Is it underrated? Absolutely it is. I've always loved Young Guns with Emilio Estevez. It's cheesy fun. I like both movies. The Regulators. I like Western movies. I really do. And plus I like one of the cheesiest 80s thing ever. One of the most cheesiest 80s things ever is the opening to Young Guns, where it's in black and white and it just shows all their faces staring at the camera like this, playing like 80s rock Western music or something. It's so great. So yeah, I like Young Guns. I actually just watched both of them on Amazon Prime, I want to say, last week. Melvin D's Nuts. Do you think Morgan Freeman is a top 10 actor? I think he's, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Morgan Freeman, yeah. You can't, the thing is, my thing with actors are charisma, likability, charm, and can you replace that actor with someone else? Can another actor step in and do the same thing that actor's doing? And Morgan Freeman checks all those boxes. Like, no one can replace Morgan Freeman. Like, take any role he's ever played and try to replace it with another actor. Name that actor. Who could have done that? I can't think of anyone. So yeah, he's top 10, sure. Jordan, what are your thoughts on Horrible Bosses? It's one of my favorite dark comedies, and as a bonus, it ends with Kevin Spacey going to jail. Oh, God. Good point. I saw it once or twice. It was okay. It just felt like one of those comedy movies that come out in the mid-2000s. You watch and it sort of just disappears. It didn't really stand the test of time, in my opinion. I just felt like another better comedy movie came out 2 years after it. Rob K. thoughts. Oh, we just answered that. Just JDD24, a movie you like but has bad acting. Van Helsing. We'll just keep saying Van Helsing. There's some pretty bad acting in it, especially from Count Dracula's character, Van Helsing. And there's one scene where he like tastes his own blood. He goes, "Oh." It's some good stuff, man. Thumper JDM. Have you ever watched Lucky Number 11, All-Star Great Plot? It doesn't have Christopher Walken in it. Christopher Walken. I don't think I have watched all that. Or was that Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag? I don't remember. No, I think I've seen part of it. I don't think I've ever conclusively seen the whole movie. Night King 01 says, I think you missed some super chats. I'm getting there, man, if I did. But I don't think they popped up yet. Oh, here are some. Okay. Ermin Yabber. I'm sorry, Ermin. You know, I can't remember how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. Where do you see yourself in 10 years from today? I'm not sure, man. I just hope I have my hair and I'm not completely out of shape. Really, that's it. As long as I'm doing something I like to do and I can pay the bills, I'll be more than content. I'm not sure. I really am. I mean, more or less the same thing I'm doing now, maybe. I don't ever want to grow up. Did I miss any more questions? Oh, here's another one. Michael Tellez, how would you rank all of Tarantino's movies that were directed by him? Thoughts on True Romance? I think it's an underrated masterpiece. Yeah, True Romance, also directed by Tony Scott. Yeah, that's a good movie. It really is. As far as ranking all of his movies, all I can do is say Django Unchained is my favorite. Pulp Fiction might be my second favorite. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably in it might be close third, tied with The Hateful Eight, which I think is one of Tarantino's most underrated movies. And then after that, it's sort of a toss-up from there. I hope I got all the super chats there because I think I did. Okay. All right. Justin King, any advice for moving large TV to a new house? Do you want to risk you don't want to risk damaging? Figuring as many times as you've moved, you have perfected this. And you know what? Justin, you're asking the right guy for that job. I will tell you that right now. So there's two things I want to tell you to do. The first thing is they actually make specially made TV moving boxes. You can go to Lowe's, you can go to U-Haul, any moving supply store, and probably find one of these. It's a very large box that will fit your TV, and inside of this said box has foam that goes on the corners of your TV. But that's not enough, okay? That's not enough. We're going to keep going here. What I do when I move my TVs is I get a very soft blanket, and I put it over the TV, or before I even do that, I'll wrap my TV in saran wrap, like moving saran wrap, and then I'll put the blanket over that, then I'll put the foam on the corners, and then I'll put it in the box. But if you want to pull a MacGyver on this and even go a step further, I'm going to blow your mind here, Justin, okay? Oh, we paused. Son of a bitch. All right, hang on, guys. I told you, a technical issue has to happen. It has to happen. Hang on. Hang on, guys. I'm going to fix this real quick. I hate this. Oh, not working. Hang on. Look at that. Look at that image. Look at my face, guys. That's a face only a mother could love. Okay. Hey, you guys. Hang on. I'll fix it. Hang on. I told you guys. At least once during the stream, this has to happen. It has to. Why wouldn't it? Hang on. I know how to fix it. It takes me a minute here. Oh, God, that should have been the thumbnail for this video. All right, hang on, guys. I'll be back in just 2 seconds. Don't you go anywhere. Don't get scared now, guys. I'm right here. I'm with you. Come on, computer. Go faster. I'm coming back. Don't you worry now. Come on. Just give me a second and I will fix it, guys. I'm so sorry for this. This always seems to happen. Oh, it's still fucked up. Okay. Oh, we're back. I'm moving again. Sorry, guys. Time froze right there. I didn't know if you knew that, but all reality and time stopped. That's what happens when you talk about moving TVs. Why does that happens every fucking live stream? Why does that happen? Oh, it's fixed, guys. There you go. Enjoy. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. So back to your question, Justin. So one thing you can do is if you really want to make your TV safe and secure, go buy one of the pool noodles, like the foam noodles that you buy for swimming pools, okay? They cost like $1 if you go to the Dollar Tree. Buy like 2 or 3 or 4 of these. And what you do is you cut them right down the middle. You make a slice down the middle and it opens them up like a tube, but it's open. Now you can pop that on top of your TV, put it around all the edges, and it's safe and secure, man. Nothing's going to happen to that TV. So that's another recommendation. So good luck with moving your TV. Sorry about that thing freezing up, guys. Man, every live stream that happens. Someone's just said Mr. Freeze has been defeated. Yeah. Every time that happens, I just wish I had a button that said chill. Hang on. Where am I at on the questions? Okay. Johnny Jambalaya. I never hear anyone talking about Seven Psychopaths comments. I think I might have seen it once. I don't recall, man. I really don't. It's just one of those movies that just happened and went right by me. Lone Tiger, what is your favorite steelbook that you own minus the Captain America trilogy? That's a good one. I don't know. Visually speaking, I like the Wolf of Wall Street. I like the yellowness, and as far as like artwork goes, I like bold artwork. So the Baby Driver steelbook looks really good to me. Jurassic Joey, just wanted to remind you Batman and Robin happened. Oh, I have nightmares about it every night. You don't have to remind me. We Todd did. Yeah, I know what you just had me say. And I say it, and that's fine. I'll keep saying it. I don't care. What's a movie that haunted you for a while? Like you just kept thinking about it and it turned out every night, it turned on every light in your house. I remember watching the first Nightmare on Elm Street as a kid, scaring the shit out of me, ran up the basement stairs as quickly as I could, went to my grandmother's kitchen, grabbed a butter knife, and then went to bed. Probably that. Dan Peters, what are some movie twists that genuinely surprised you that blew your mind? This is a weird one, but like the end of The Village. I don't care what you say about that movie. I liked the twist. I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. I'm sure there's way better twists than that. I mean, there's so many. I mean, am I the only one? The first time you watched The Sixth Sense, did you guys like? I predicted the twist halfway through the movie. Even as a kid, I was like, I think he's dead, and he was. That's another one. Oh, also the twist. I like the twist in Old Boy. That was definitely. They went forward in that. The Old Boy twist was pretty good. Oh, and also the speaking of South Korean films, the twist in Parasite. I was like, whoa. Now that really blew me away. I was like, it became a whole completely different movie, the third act. Caleb Eisenhuth. Hey, John. What car were you driving in the new Flick Trip video? Favorite movie about cars, Ford v Ferrari, Days of Thunder. Loved the intro. Well, thanks, man. I'm glad you did. Yeah, I liked the intro as well. And Patrick John helped me with that. So thanks, Patrick. So I mentioned this earlier. I said it's a Toyota CHR. It's like a crossover small SUV. Favorite movie with cars in it? You mentioned a few good ones. I mean, anytime you could see the Batmobile in any of the Batman movies, I really enjoyed it. But like a car movie? Ooh. I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's probably 5 I'm not thinking of right now. Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage. There's one for you. I like it. I really do. Hans Mastery. Hey, John, if you wanted to share a personal project with you in private, how to do so? Once again, DM me on Twitter. That is the best way. If you are, in fact, like a Patreon supporter, send me a message on Patreon, because I do read every single one of those and get back to every single one of those, like probably at least twice a week. So those are 2 ways. But DM me if you're not. Thumper JDM, Lucky Number 11, Bruce Willis, Josh Hartnett, Morgan Freeman, Ben Kingsley, and more. Yeah, it's a good lineup, man. That's a great cast of actors. Josh Hartnett, he just disappeared from the face of Hollywood, didn't he? Like, they thought he was going to be the next big thing, and it just did not happen. Melvin D's Nuts, can we get a live stream entirely of Pick the Flick Point Break remake rules? Fuck you. Pick the Flick I might do next time. Because to be honest with you, I'm a little tired today, and I started this a little later than I thought I was going to. So probably next time we'll play Pick the Flick. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to talk about some of these new 4K movies. Obed Arzaga, thoughts on Prisoners? Also, movies I saw this week: Prisoners, Gone Girl, and Zodiac. You were in the Mystery Fincher vibe, huh? I like all of those movies, and I like Prisoners. I really do. I have a review for it. Go check it out if you want to hear me talk about it for like 8 minutes. And I have a really good opening skit for Prisoners as well. I was really proud of that skit. I think you'll enjoy it. All right. Do you watch The Mandalorian? Yeah, I watch The Mandalorian. I love that shit. The newest episode, man. I was like, okay, finally, we got some backstory. I liked it. And Rosario Dawson. I thought that was a great casting choice. All right. So real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some brand new 4K and Blu-ray movies that I picked up or were sent to me over the last few weeks. And so, yeah, for the next few minutes, let's talk about these, and then we can answer some more random questions for you guys. The first one is one of my favorite films of all time. And this movie, I liked it the first time I saw it. Then I grew to love it with each consecutive rewatch. And that's Collateral, starring Tom Cruise, and one of my favorite roles he's ever been in. Why? Because he plays a villain. And Tom Cruise makes a great villain. Plus a badass hitman, nevertheless. And Jamie Foxx in this film was great. This is directed by Michael Mann, who directed films like Heat. And this is very Michael Mann-esque, and I like that. And one of my favorite things about this movie, and I love movies like this, because it all takes place at night. And movies that take place at night, I don't know why, they sort of relax me and immerse me more. And I just like watching characters in a desolated city with the city lights, and it looks so natural. It doesn't look overproduced. It's shot sort of guerrilla style. So Collateral has always been one of my favorite action movies that no one really talks about. But one of the coolest scenes in this film, and it's playing this music, I believe like it's a South Korean song. It's kind of like techno a little bit, where there's a great shootout scene that takes place in a nightclub with Tom Cruise just kicking ass. And I actually downloaded that song and I play it on when I drive in my car. So yeah, if you haven't seen Collateral, definitely check it out. Now, I have not watched this on 4K yet, and the thing about Collateral is when it comes to the technical aspects of it, some of this movie was shot on film. And I'm sure that looks fine on 4K, but some of this was shot with early digital from the early 2000s. And early digital was hit or miss, and it was very grainy and had a lot of noise in it. Not grainy, just a lot of noise. So I'm curious to see how this looks on 4K with the early digital technical vibe of it. But yeah, I can't wait to watch this again. Now, the next one I want to talk about is Popeye. Starring the late, and it almost depresses me to even talk about it and remember that this happened, but Robin Williams, man. Every time I think about like what actually ended up happening, part of my childhood just dies every time. Anyway, Popeye was always a weird movie to me, and I have not watched this movie in probably 15 to 20 years, and it was always a weird movie. It just always was to me, but I am curious to go back and rewatch this with like adult eyes. But nevertheless, the prosthetics on his forearms look great. He's doing a lot of forearm curls, and Shelley Duvall was made to play the role of Olive Oil. I mean, could you think of another actress who could actually look as accurate to Olive Oil? I always remember Popeye. The show always made me want to eat spinach. And then as a kid, I ate spinach, and I was like, nah, I'll just work out one day to get strong. The next one is The Godfather, and this is the death of Michael Corleone. Now, this is sort of like the re-edited director's cut of the movie, which supposedly is supposed to improve the movie and fix a lot of mistakes. Now, I have not seen The Godfather 3 in a long time, and I remember the last time I watched it, I was like, this isn't that great. I mean, how do you go from Godfather 1, then you go to Godfather 2, which I think is superior, and then you go to Godfather 3, which just feels like a product of the early 90s. Now, supposedly this re-edited, tacked on with extra scenes is supposed to improve the movie. I've heard otherwise, so I'm curious to check that out, but I'll watch it on a rainy day. That's on Blu-ray. Someone said Godfather's boring. I'm not going to... It's not a movie I rewatch often, but if you love cinema, you at least have to watch the first two. I don't think the third one's probably necessary. The next one is Total Recall. Screw you! Now, this is on 4K. Now, I remember doing a Blu-ray review of this when the Blu-ray came out, and that was a great transfer. And this is the film that really, as a young boy, opened up my eyes to Sharon Stone, and those eyes will forever be open to Sharon Stone. This is great, Arnie. Just a great early 90s sci-fi film that's sort of a satire, but also not afraid to go for it. The special effects at the time of this movie were state of the art, and you look back on it now and it's like, they don't look that great, a little bit hokey, but that's what I like about it. It's like the charm. You can see the craftsmanship and some of the effects and the prosthetics, and just it's still fun to look at. You know, I'd rather look at that than just CG, glossy CG. But yeah, I am curious to see how this... I can only imagine this looks great on 4K. And also, I think there might be something extra in here. Is there like something... It feels heavier than a normal standard movie. It feels like there's like a booklet or like an extra disc in here or something. I don't know. But I'll savor the flavor on that and watch it. The next one I actually ordered off Amazon for Black Friday. And this is like $12 and some change. And I mentioned this in my Black Friday Flick Trip video. Stand By Me is one of my favorite films of all time. It's a great coming to age. I say coming of age, or I say coming to age. Some people correct me and say it's coming of age, or vice versa. I always get it wrong, but either way, you get what I'm saying. This film has always connected to me ever since I was a kid. I always wanted friends, like the friends in this movie, to walk down the train tracks with me and go on an adventure. And just, I mean, if we're walking to see a dead body, so be it. I mean, I'd rather walk to the movie theater or something as a kid. That would have been fine too. But just the camaraderie between these kids. You have young Corey Feldman. I always wanted a friend like Corey Feldman. I know that's a weird thing, but that is so true. And I hope this looks great on 4K. I own it on Blu-ray, but what I'm doing right now in life is essentially buying there's basically 100 movies I love, and I need all 100 of those movies on 4K to feel complete. Okay, the next few movies. Lord of the Rings. Now, this is a pretty epic... Now, they have a better epic collector's edition of this that has way more stuff in it. Now, the unfortunate thing about this is it doesn't come with the special features or the bonus features. But you know what? I'm fine with that. It does have the extended versions on it, which is the only way to watch Lord of the Rings. And one day, not actually one day, when I have about 3 days to spare, I will go back and revisit the original trilogy, the extended editions. Once again, only way to watch it. Now, each one of these 4K movies with the extended cuts on it is 2 discs. And I like that. They didn't compress it. They didn't try to cram it all into one disc. They gave the films 2 discs to give you the best picture quality, and I'm fine by that. And there's something sort of fun and enjoyable about if you're watching a movie at home and getting that real experience. There's something fun and ritualistic about, oh, we're halfway through the movie and then disc 1 is over and then you pop in disc 2. It's kind of fun. It's like a built-in intermission for the movies. It's like, oh, we get to stop and go get some more popcorn and everyone gets to take a piss break and then we come back and watch the movie. I like that. I've always liked when a long movie has two cassette tapes. Like Titanic had 2 cassette tapes, I remember. And each one of the normal versions is just 1 disc, but there are tons of discs in here. And like I said, I need to go back and revisit these movies because it has been a while and I knew the 4K was coming out and I was like, I'm going to wait for the 4K to go back and rewatch The Lord of the Rings because it's been a very long time. And I've never been a diehard fan of Lord of the Rings. I like them. I respect them. And I enjoy them, but they've just never been the most, they just never been movies I've rewatched over and over again for whatever reason. But yeah, can't wait to check these out again. All right. Last, but certainly I would say probably least, it's the Hobbit trilogy, also on 4K. I don't like these movies. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. I've done reviews on at least a few of these movies, I believe, if not all 3. Did I do? If I didn't, I was in a collab video with Stuckman, at least for one of these. These movies were just everything wrong with modern day cinema. Like, they took a story that should have been 1 movie and they made like 3 movies out of it. Okay, fine. Cash grab. You want to do that? Fine. But then not only that, it's like the CG was downgraded from the original trilogy in this trilogy. Like, it doesn't look better. It just doesn't. Nothing is better about this new trilogy than it was in the previous trilogy. Nothing's better. Nothing. Not one thing improved upon. And then the thing I most remember from a technical aspect is in the first Hobbit flick, they wanted to introduce the 48 frames per second. Was it 48 or is it 60 frames per second? Either, I think it was 48 frames per second. And they're like, oh, this is the future. This is the new way of technology. It's so ultra realistic. And guess what happened? It failed miserably right out of the gate. No one liked it. Everyone who went to see it got motion sickness. It makes the CG so much more unsettling to look at. It just makes everything look that much more fake. And the other thing is when you increase the frame rate, it takes away that magical glow that cinema gives you. When I go to see a movie, I like to get immersed and just my eyeballs relax and I watch this flickering, glowing screen and I just know I'm watching true cinema. When I watch a higher frame rate, I'm like, I'm watching someone's video camera movie. Like, it's not appealing to me. So anyway, guys, that's my take. Those are all the new 4K and Blu-ray movies that I've received over the last couple of weeks. Feel free to share your thoughts and let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I can't wait to watch some of these. I'm just excited. I can't wait. So let me know what you guys think. Yeah, someone said The Hobbit looks like a PS3 cutscene. Absolutely, it really does. It really does. At least Gandalf was in the Hobbit films. True. That was great. But even the forced scene where they had Gollum in there, like they went out of their way to throw that Gollum scene in there. And I was like, oh, that's fine. But it's like when you watch it, you're like, I wish I was just watching the Lord of the Rings instead of these Hobbit movies. All right, let's get back to your questions here, guys. And real quick, what I'm going to ask you guys to do right now is if you guys have a question, that you guys want me to answer, get it in right now for like the next 1 to 2 minutes. And then every question I receive for the next 1 to 2 minutes, I will answer every single one of those. and then I'm going to go take a cold shower, eat some Chipotle, and cry myself to sleep. So yeah, if you have a question, get it in right now. And also, if you guys are a channel member, feel free to leave some comments, questions right now if you guys are members of the channel, because thank you guys. And yeah, so feel free to chime in right now. Anani Moose, FPSs are made to emulate human eye better than the shutter for video games. They, however, destroy the cinematic quality of a movie in a theater. It looks like a soap opera. Absolutely. Everything you just said is true. Yes. I agree. Higher frame rates make things look more realistic. I get it. I completely understand that. So if you're watching a sporting event, fine. Have a higher frame rate. That works for me. Not for a movie. Just not for a movie. The next one. Where am I here? Sorry, guys. Sometimes the chat moves so quick I have to go back to find some questions. Claudia Rogajon, you hate the Point Break remake as much as before? I probably hate it fucking more, to be honest with you. I think that's a garbage-stained movie. I really do. I don't know why they made it. I don't know whose idea it was. I don't know why they didn't at least try to make something better than the original. It was just the definition of everything wrong with modern-day cinema. Jordan says, have you seen the South Korean movie I Saw the Devil? I have not, but everyone tells me to watch it. It's an action horror movie about a man getting revenge on a serial killer played by the main actor, an old boy. The action is great and the story is dark. Yeah, I'll watch it, man. Trust me. There's a list of South Korean films I need to watch. It took me many years to watch Train to Busan. Finally did it a few months ago. Really enjoyed it. Night King 01. Rewatched post GoldenEye. Rewatch post GoldenEye Bonds. Is not bad. WINE is not bad. Twine is not bad. I don't know what that is. The world is not enough is not bad. Yes, it is, man. The world is not enough is so bad. But hey, if you can enjoy it, that's fine. I love GoldenEye. Sean Bean, man, 006. Caleb Eisenhuth, sorry. Did you see Killing Gunther starring Arnold? I did not see Killing Gunther starring Arnold. No, I have not. I don't believe I have. Night King 01, the violence in Total Recall is ridiculous. I love it. Oh, absolutely. Like, where the head explodes, that's phenomenal. That is gold. That is everything you've ever wanted to see in cinema, Breath of Life. It's just a movie that goes for it. Paul Verhoeven, man, that guy, no one can make a movie like him. Like, he makes satire movies that are very violent, funny, entertaining, well done. I mean, no one else could make RoboCop like he did. No one else could have made Total Recall. No one else could have made like a Starship Troopers like he did. I wish he would have just made more movies in the 90s. Captain America 1012. Hey, John, I love Collateral. I do hate the ending, though. The fact that Tom Cruise doesn't kill Jamie Foxx at the end is total BS. Agree or disagree? Yeah, I don't want to spoil the movie for anyone, but yeah, Tom Cruise is he has very accurate shooting ability. And I get what you're saying. Yeah, I felt like more damage could have been done. But during that scene, though, Tom Cruise was wounded. But I do agree. I'm not sure. I feel like there was an alternate ending to that movie. I could be mistaken. Lone Tiger, did you receive the movies for free? I did. I told you that. They were sent to me from the studios. What's the process and who gets them? Also, I love Lord of the Rings, but I heard The Hobbit looks good on 4K and the CG is improved, if not great. Check out Films at Home on YouTube. Also, 24 frames forever. Absolutely. I've seen some of his videos. Yeah, studios send them. What is the process? I guess just make YouTube videos, have a certain number of views per video, and eventually studios will get in touch with you and send you some free shit. That's usually what happens. Or I'm on certain press lists on different studios and different marketing companies, and they put out like a press email saying, hey, Total Recall is hitting 4K December 1st. Do you want this? And you have to fill out a form and receive it. But then they look at your channel and make sure it's worth their while to send it to you, I guess. Madu, I have a quick question. If I wanted to become a member, which channel would you prefer I did it on? I would say do it on... I would say this channel, John Flickinger channel, because this is where I do the live shows more often or always. So probably do it on this channel, to be honest with you. As far as the extra bonuses of like receiving like the Ask Anything videos or the podcast episodes, either channel, I put those on both channels for members. So if you're a member, you'll see it on either channel. But as far as like the added feature of like being in the live stream or the live chat section, probably join on this channel. Jay Wheeler, who's a YouTube member, where do you buy your posters? I'm finding reprints that aren't great quality or posters that are $500 original prints that are not in production anymore. Yeah, I buy reprints. I really do. But I buy good ones, and I'm picky. So if I find a reprint and it looks like shit, I won't buy it. You can always tell. What you do is you look at the bottom credits of the poster or the one sheet movie posters. And if the credits look fuzzy or blurry, it's a bad reprint. So don't buy it. But there's some good ones. There's some, find like an eBay seller who has like a proven track record and a lot of feedback for selling reprints, and read the comments and make sure he's like printing them out high quality and just buy some from him. That's what I do. Or I'll find them in the store. I'll find like actual manufactured posters and buy them that way. Like you can go to like Spencer's in the mall, like the store in the mall, and find movie posters. Inani Moose, also, I was wondering, do you think The Goonies has a bigger pop culture impact than Stand By Me? I do think that. I really do. More people reference The Goonies, and I like Stand By Me far better than The Goonies. Way more, actually, than The Goonies. But it's not as fun and campy and as, hokey as The Goonies. It's definitely a much more serious film. So I think when it came to like kids growing up on a movie, Stand By Me probably wasn't the movie they were watching when they were like 9 years old. It was probably The Goonies. But for me growing up, I was like, I'm watching Stand By Me. I'd rather watch Stand By Me than The Goonies. That was I guess that's the best way to describe my style of cinema as a kid. Like, I would rather watch Stand By Me than The Goonies. Rob K says, what's a reasonable price to pay for a good 4K player? I think 4K players are overpriced as shit. Like, I really do. They're almost like all $200. That's crazy. Like, they should cost $100. Like, and they will eventually, but what it is the 4K market is, you're probably a videophile if you're buying 4K movies and 4K players and 4K TVs. And these companies, they know someone who wants the best picture quality is going to pay for it. So what they do is they jack up the price because they know you're going to pay for it. They just do. And then when they say, you know what, all the cinephiles already bought this shit, what we'll do is we'll cater to the general public, and they lower the price and they make it more affordable. That's what they did with the Blu-ray. That's what they're going to do with 4K. Just JDD24, for me, Doctor Strange is my top MCU film of all time. How has it held up for you since its release? Okay. All right. I'll be honest. I'm always honest with you guys. I don't need to say I'm going to be honest because I always am. Doctor Strange, I don't find it that rewatchable. I've seen it maybe once after the theater. I don't hate it. I just, when it comes to like watching a Marvel film, I want more of a spectacle or maybe a character I'm a bit more interested in. The Ant-Man movies and Doctor Strange movies and the second Thor movie and the second Iron Man movie are probably my least rewatched Marvel films. Like, I rewatch all of the Avengers movies over and over, the Captain America movies over and over, and Thor Ragnarok was probably one of the most rewatchable Marvel films for me. So, yeah. Starting to lose my voice. I feel like we've been talking a long time. Dan Peters W. Where the fuck am I? Oh yeah. What is a movie your girlfriend loves and likes watching consistently? But you can't stand? For me, my wife loves Crazy Rich Asians and watches it all the time. I can't stand that movie. Amber likes the Harry Potter movies. She watches those whenever they're like on TV. I just not ever been a big fan of Harry Potter. It's not that I can't stand them. That's one I don't really get into. I'm sure there's something else. Oh, she loves Nightmare Before Christmas, and I like the movie. I don't think I could rewatch it as often as she can. Jordan, have you heard about Tokyo Vice? It's an upcoming HBO Max series based on the true story of an American journalist uncovering the criminal underworld of Tokyo. It stars Ansel Elgort and Ken Watanabe. Michael Mann is a producer and is directing the pilot. Ooh, that sounds sexy, man. It sort of reminds me of the movie Black Rain with Michael Douglas back in the 80s. Just a little bit. But sounds good. Okay. Sounds cool. Night King 01. Is Tomorrow Never Dies bad as well? You abbreviated some of the James Bond movies and my brain can't comprehend what they are right now. Yeah. I didn't like Tomorrow Never Dies. The World Is Not Enough was also bad. I don't know what the other one is. But really, when it comes to Pierce Brosnan Bond flicks, it was GoldenEye or nothing for me. But not to say, and when it comes to the Daniel Craig movies, the only one I really love is Casino Royale. I know people say Skyfall is great. Casino Royale, man, that's the one I love. Claudia Rogajan. Uncharted games are the best Indiana Jones films never made. Yeah, fair enough. Wish they would adapt the damn game. Someone commented this earlier. But we don't know exactly what they're going to do in the story. I'm sure they're going to take elements that made some of the games great and blend them into the movie. Hopefully, if they're smart, they'll at least give fans what they want, or else why make the movie? Hector the Chill Guy. Hey, John, I insist that you shake my hand. My hand's dirty. So is mine. What movie is that from? Lone Tiger. Do you think that when movies are called spectacles, that's a sign of a mediocre film? Especially when that's what reviewers call it instead of talking about what the movie is itself. It just depends. Like, you could say Avatar was a spectacle film, and that's a fair assessment because you could say the story's a little bit lackluster, but the spectacle of it still makes it an entertaining, watchable movie. So when you have a movie like Avatar, for example, where you have 9-foot-tall blue aliens and a lot of state-of-the-art CGI, well, sometimes you can get away with a lackluster story as long as you have that spectacle. It's an experience. And then if you have another movie with a great story, well, that can rely on that. So sometimes I think it's fair to say a movie's a spectacle and it can still be a good movie. Sure. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Please don't ask any more questions or any more super chats because I don't want to miss them. So please don't ask any more. I will go to the other chat right here and try to answer as many questions as I can. Patrick John says, "You lucky bastard. The Stand By Me 4K would cost me about $50 to get sent down here in Australia." What? That's insane, man. Can you not find the Stand By Me Blu-ray or 4K somewhere in like a store in Australia? That's crazy. At least you guys have good weather. Claudia Rogajan, can you do a commentary on Rumble in the Bronx? Out of all the movies to do a commentary on, that's the one you want? It probably will never happen, but I do really enjoy the movie. All right. You're asking a stupid fucking... I'm going to block you now because you asked a stupid question. You asked that 10 times and it just stop. What else? John can't read. Anani Moose. You know what? After not watching much Marvel movies, rarely have I come to realize how forgettable they are. Only like 4 MCU movies are worth rewatching and praising. I would say there's more than that, but the thing is, a lot of the Marvel films felt like stepping stone movies. It's like, well, we kind of obligatory have to make this movie out of obligation to connect it and get to the next Avengers movie. Some of them do feel that way, but some of them feel like great. I like the ones that just feel like standalone movies with some progression to the next movie. That's fine. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, when it comes to the Marvel MCU films, I mean, I probably love like 5 of them. Like, I think I think a lot of them are watchable and entertaining, but I'd probably say I love 5 of them. And that's still really good. Like, I think that's still solid because I get picky sometimes. Could you rank your top David Fincher movies? Really, honestly, it's probably Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Seven, and I really like The Social Network. I'm probably forgetting one in there too. Those might be my top 3. Have you seen Tom Cruise's new stunt for Mission Impossible 7? I've heard about it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want any information on it. I just want to see the movie and enjoy it. Wasn't there something to do with space or something like that? That's what I recall. Do you like The Fighter? Hey, I'm going to be a fighter now. Yeah, I liked The Fighter. I saw it once or twice and enjoyed it. But if I'm going to watch a boxing movie or an underdog story, The Fighter's okay. It's sufficient, but not one of the most rewatchable ones. I'd much rather watch like Warrior or Rocky. 8mm commentary. That can be done. That would be creepy and scary, but that can be done. Claudia Rogajon, can you do a commentary on Rumble in the... I already answered that. Sorry. It popped up in 2 places. That sounds weird. Fight Club. I'm sorry. Yeah, Fincher movies. See, that's why you guys can't ask me to do top 10s off the top of my head. Fight Club. Yes, that's definitely in my top 3. Then I would say Social Network is number 4. Yeah, I love Bob's bitch tits in Fight Club, man. It's so good. And my favorite quote: you buy things that you don't want and don't need to impress people that you don't like. So true. Damon, our savior. Love you, John. Thanks for the stream. Well, thanks, Damon, the savior. No problem, man. What's your OnlyFans? I don't have an OnlyFans, but I can promise you some really high quality, fun, exotic content over on my Patreon. Go check that out instead. Yeah, what's with the new trend? Some YouTubers are starting OnlyFans. Maybe one day when I'm really down on my luck. Maybe one day. Seven or Zodiac. I like Zodiac, but 7 is far more interesting to me and way more rewatchable. Zodiac's great. The true story is really interesting as well. Whiplash or Nightcrawler? If you had to bet, which one would you pick? And if you don't know the answer to that, you need to watch more of my videos. Have you seen Pumping Iron? Oh yeah, dude. I used to watch Pumping Iron on a weekly basis when I was like in the gym every day. I love the pump. I always feel like I'm coming. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for the questions. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed the brand new segment tonight, Magical Mystical Movie Memories. And what I'm going to do in the future is I'm probably going to take that segment and upload it as a standalone video on this channel. Because I know a lot of you can't watch 2+ hour streams. I get it, but there's some fun stuff that happens, and I'm going to make separate videos of that. A lot of you guys have requested that. And I'll probably make like the Blu-ray segment a separate video as well here on this channel. And once again, if you haven't already, make sure you check out my new Black Friday video over on the Flickpick channel. I think you guys will rather enjoy it. Go there, give the video a like, and or give this video a like. Fuck it. Give this video a like. Please. It helps that YouTube algorithm, and I much appreciate it. As always, guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks everyone who had a super chat or a Streamlabs question. You guys truly are amazing. And I appreciate you guys. And as always, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.